Welcome back to Right Answers Mostly, a podcast on what you didn't learn in history class, but you really wanted to. My name is Tess Palomo.
My name's Claire Donald.
And we are back with a little girly pop episode for you.
That's right. And we are back while I am wearing our new merch, you see.
Oh my God, guys, it's so cute. And they've been selling them like hotcakes, not to brag.
Truly.
Cute. Yeah, show the back.
I'm twisting and turning if you're watching.
They're just so cute. And our hats sold out within like a few hours.
Well, here's the thing also. We're not going to tell them, but we're going to tell you guys now.
We have to brag.
Yeah, because now that we've restocked, but Premium sold us out of the shirts like within an hour. And so we immediately emailed our merch guy and we're like, we need more.
And then we put them on the main feed the next day and they're selling very quickly. So this has been our most successful round of merch, which you got to celebrate those wins.
Well, I also think it's our cutest round of merch yet too.
It's really cute. We've always tried things. We've tried things.
You have to like make a choice and it's not always the right choice, and we've learned that.
Before we get into the topic of today, Claire, any updates? How are you?
I'm great. I'm really excited. We're going to go dancing this weekend for our friend Becca's birthdays, another Taurus queen. So happy birthday, Becca.
We love you.
Yeah. So my outfit is, okay, well, I'm a little scared now. So I watched Charlie's Coachella set and I was like, ugh. And obviously Alice and I went to the sweat tour. And then after the Coachella set, I put on her Boiler Room set. So I really had my outfit based off of Charlie. But now I'm like, is it stupid?
I love it. And
okay.
How do you feel in it?
I mean, I feel hot, like sexy little Bo Peep.
Then that's all you need.
Okay.
You know,
okay.
It's like if we focus too much on the vibes,
yeah,
it's like it should just be about how it makes you feel.
And that's the ultimate vibe. Yeah, so dancing's good for the soul, and we've done that a lot, and I want to continue doing that.
I want to continue doing it too, because why the hell not? You know?
Why the hell not? But that's like my friend Sarah and Mark are coming to town this week because they are moving here, which is very exciting.
Oh, they're the best.
Thank God. So yeah, so that will be really exciting. But besides that, like that's kind of the main updates. I mean, we'll keep the crazy updates for Premium.
We will. We always do.
We have a new episode coming out this week, I think. So you guys know 3 bonus episodes a month. Get it going.
Get it going, $7.99, worth every penny.
That's right. Tess, what's up with you? What's new?
I feel like we're finally like relaxed a little bit after April season, which was crazy. Wedding, birthday, a lot of social events, which was so fun. And now like this week, I'm just like exhaling a little bit. We go on our mini moon in 2 weeks, which is lovely.
I can't believe that's already 2 weeks.
I know. I'm so excited. So we've just been planning that a little bit, and that's close by. I'll talk about it on Premium, but it's just a hop, skip, and the jump away, really.
It's so crazy.
So it's nothing like that we're like, oh God, we have to like fly across the country. It's very chill. And yeah, that's about it. It's been a good season of life.
We went to see Sinners last night. I had no idea what the movie was about. And in the car, I was like, what is this about? And Kanal's like, well, I'm not going to tell you now because we're about to walk in. And what a ride.
What a wild ride. I forgot to send you the tweet, but our friend Kyle wrote a really interesting tweet about like how he interpreted the movie. And I just thought it was so good. I just thought it was like crazy. Like a wild, crazy ride. I loved it.
I mean, I'll never complain about 2 Michael B. Jordans.
Honey, what a talented man.
But it was fun. I mean, we've been loving going to the movies lately. You guys, Brokeback Mountain is coming out into theaters.
Cannot wait. June 22nd and 23rd. Everyone, grab your girls.
Grab your girls. We are going to, grab your girls, grab your tissues. We're going to see Brokeback Mountain in the theaters. I can't wait.
It's going to be a cultural movement like it always has been.
Thank God they're doing this right now. They're like putting the movies that have been out. I mean, 2005, what a great year for cinema. Pride and Prejudice and Brokeback Mountain.
Oh my God. And like 2005 was it? Rom-coms were still really good. I think that's when 13 Going on 30 came out.
It was just a time to be alive. They need to, like, what movie would you have them put back into theaters?
Oh my God, what a question.
I know.
What?
I'm like, let me ask you a question and then answer for you. I mean,
tell me.
It seems they did this recently, but Titanic in theaters would be.
They did that in 2012 in 3D.
Okay, I don't need that 3D. But people flying at you when they're falling off the ship, I don't need that.
It was kind of crazy. I saw it when I was studying abroad, and I was in France that weekend. And so it was in French when I saw it, but it had subtitles.
Oh my God.
And then I went to the bathroom after, sobbing, of course, and like trying to freshen up. And this French woman came up to me and just started speaking in French. I had no idea what she was saying, but she just gave me a hug. And I just went, merci. And just the only thing I don't know French. And we just held each other. And it was a beautiful, like, human experience.
That's the power of the arts. Like, they connect you.
Exactly. So, yeah, I mean, always Titanic. What would you choose?
Parent Trap would be really fun to see in theaters again.
I just watched it on Sunday, and what a fucking treat.
What a treat. I mean, Natasha Richardson is all of our mamas.
I mean, every time that scene where they see each other and she comes running down the stairs, I just think of like my mom every time, you know, you're just like, that's the feeling when you see your mom and you're just like, thank God.
She is mother. She's Princess Diana. Like, she is all the above. And it was Dennis Quaid when he was hot, not so MAGA. So
I know. We can
the good old days.
The time. Yeah.
Literally.
That time is no longer.
Yeah. Everything good comes to an end, you know.
Well, that's a great transition, Claire.
Oh my God. Actually, it's a great transition.
Everything good does come to an end.
Tess, what are we talking about today?
So we're talking about Katy Perry today. And she's been in the zeitgeist a little bit because of obviously her going to space for 11 minutes.
I can't wait to talk about it.
And then you texted me and you were like, I think that you should do Katy Perry. And there's some things that we resist because we're too connected to them in some ways, or we might be trying to separate ourselves from it.
Yeah. Well, I was like, just took a edible and was lying in bed like so high and watching. She's all over our TikToks, like especially now after your research.
I know.
And I was just like laughing at her, and I was like, "Oh, Tess, you must."
No, I know. And right now she is like trending because that part of thinking of you on TikTok, everyone is doing it.
You're like
an
Indian summer in the Let's keep it going. Well, the Surprise Center.
Yeah, she's having a moment right now, and I was a Katy cat.
You
Very
were
intensely
the Katy cat.
I really was. Like, I've seen her on tour multiple times. I've bought her products. I watched her I think I saw her documentary in theaters maybe 5 times. Adrian, this is dedicated to you because we once saw it in a theater that no one else was in besides a woman and her 2 children who were sober, and we were drunk in the middle of the day. This was in like 2012, and we were sobbing, and then we started dancing in the aisle. So needless to say, I was very, very obsessed with her.
If I were a pop star, I would want you as my fan.
That is so sweet.
You ride hard for your people.
I really do, and I always have. It's like
Yeah.
it will always be in me. Mm-hmm. What was your experience like when Katy Perry was like at the height of her career, like 2010, and what do you think of her now?
I remember, I was talking to my mom on the phone because she responded to us and was like, I was a Katy Perry fan. And I was like, when? And she was like, well, I love fireworks. We talked about that. And like, that's very tender. But like, she kind of missed our households. Like, I liked her. Okay. Does she have a song called Black and Gold, or I think she covers the song Black and Gold, and it was on YouTube. And that was one of my YouTube songs. Of course, with Taylor's I Lie. Like, there's some songs that you couldn't get on anything but YouTube.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So that was me. But like, I was never a huge fan of her. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I know that maybe she's John Bonet.
Of course, we're going to talk about it.
Okay, perfect. But like, besides that, she's just always kind of like, I like her, okay, but I've never loved her. Never owned a CD, never anything like that.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's fun because we have 2 very different experiences.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I wanted to do her to like, of course, just to honor that part of my life of just being obsessed with her. And like, she was so theatrical. She also kind of like scratched an itch for me of like, she was a little like white, like punk rock girly, which like I kind of liked anyway, like in high school. And then I'm also fascinated by pop stars, and especially like female pop stars that we like are obsessed with, and we're just like rooting for them. And the whole culture is like supportive, and then we just chew them up and spit them out like they never meant anything to us. And I think it's an interesting thing to explore, like her journey as a star.
Yeah, because I'm curious of like what that turn was. I mean, I think Swish Swish like was really not helpful.
She's had a hard time maintaining like the peak.
Yeah,
and we're gonna get into it. We're gonna talk about everything.
Can't wait.
Sources: Wikipedia,
Stepfather,
Variety, Katy Perry Part of Me documentary, Us Weekly, People Magazine, and Betches.
And Your Life.
And My Life in My Heart. Okay. All right. So I'm going to start with a quote that I think is interesting to like set the tone. It's something that Variety, a recent article came out about her being like, what's going on with Katy Perry? And this is what Variety said. Katy Perry is not an entertainer whose shtick is particularly timeless, and crucially, she is not adept at artistic evolution. Perry's missteps in the public eye have been increasingly frequent, and her music feels entirely removed from a conversation that more adept stars like Billie Eilish, Chappell Roan, and Doechii are currently leading. But she is owed consideration, not just for her past achievements, but for the painful fact that she compels as much in failure as she previously did in success. On a wrong-headed spaceflight or crying on stage while singing a 15-year-old song, Perry still holds our gaze. That might not be artistry, exactly.
She holds our gaze and our gaze.
Our gaze and the gaze.
You know?
And and we love that.
She does it all. I would want to die if I heard someone.
Yeah, it's not kind.
No, it's really not. But it's truthful, and the truth is not always kind.
I thought it was interesting because, yeah, even just by saying she is not particularly timeless is just kind of like what it is. Like, she has not been able to maintain anything that, like, really why people fell in love with her.
And that seems to be her choice, though.
I think it's her choice. I think she doesn't have a great team.
Yeah.
So
let's get into it.
Okay, so Catherine Elizabeth Hudson.
Oh, right, Hudson
Was born. Can you guess her sign?
Oh my God. I'm like, for some reason in the back of my mind, is she a Leo? She gives more Aquarius energy to me, where you're like, what's that all about?
Those are both very good guesses. She is a Scorpio.
Oh, interessant. I really wouldn't have guessed that for her.
That makes sense for me. She's quite intense, and she has a bite, and she's very much like, if you wrong me, goodbye. She's very passionate. Okay. And I think she's a little scary sometimes too.
Okay, maybe she's like the perfect Scorpio.
Yeah, to me she is like a Scorpio queen.
Through and through.
So October 24th, 1984, she was born in Santa Barbara, her hometown. Yeah. And her parents are named Mary and Maurice.
Mary and Maurice.
And I put, there's nothing to fess up to, Maurice.
Real Housewives fans, you know. Kathy and Kim will never call him Mauricio. Well, they will always call him Maurice.
People think that's a microaggression.
Yeah, people have said that.
And I could see that.
Yeah, same. Especially with Kathy Hilton. Come on.
Yeah, literally.
That woman is a walking microaggression.
Yeah, let's all stop pretending that she's this like funny little innocent woman. She is not.
She's not. She knows what she's doing.
Exactly. So her parents were both Pentecostal pastors. They had a wild youth, and they turned to religion in like their late teens, early 20s, I think. I'm not sure exactly the time, but they wanted to like repent as they grew and became parents.
Pentecostal is so intense. I think Pentecostal is the one that speaks in tongues.
Oh yeah. Katie has vivid memories of people speaking in tongues at church.
You guys, come on.
Including her parents.
That's terrifying.
So, yeah, growing up was all about the church. She had a younger brother, David, and an older sister, Angela, and their life was about religion. Katie said, my first words were mama, dada, God, and Satan.
So well-rounded.
So they had crazy rules within the Pentecostal church. They were not allowed to eat Lucky Charms because luck is the devil. They couldn't eat deviled eggs. Can you imagine?
Stop. You guys, you're taking this like way too literally.
They couldn't celebrate Halloween, and they could only listen to gospel music. Like her parents were like, and like religious shows, like they were so sheltered. It was shocking.
Well, guess what's going to make someone rebel like that?
Well, and just think of her career. Like you're like, yeah, no wonder. What her first single was, a little premonition.
Oh my God. It's crazy. Yeah, we'll get to it.
So she would listen to CDs just like at her friend's house, like in secret. And her friend showed her You Ought to Know by Alanis Morissette. And she was literally like, holy shit. I mean, she didn't say it. She would never say holy shit. She was like, oh my good gracious. No.
Oh my stars.
Oh my stars. Thank you. Mm-hmm. And she was like, I really like music. Like it's nice listening to music that isn't just gospel music.
Well, God, I'm sure she was like, this is real music.
Exactly. And so she was like, she told her parents, she was like, I would like to sing. And her older sister, Angela, was taking singing lessons. And they were like, if this is a passion of yours, sure, like you can start singing in the church.
Of course.
And she was like, okay. So from like 9 to 17, she is singing in the church.
Just imagine.
I know. And her parents really struggled financially, like most of her childhood, but they did buy her a guitar for her birthday, and it was on. And so she's like coming up with tunes and chords like in her room, and she's not allowed to sing anything that's not Christian, but she's thinking about it.
God, I like knew kids like this growing up.
I know. I feel like you have like a lot more experience with religion than I do.
Definitely. I mean, there was a girl in my elementary school class whose dad was a pastor, and it's like always really intense because that's like not the household I was growing up into. So it'd always be like, oh, it's so boring hanging out with you. Like, sorry, love and light, but
I mean,
got to mix it up.
It's very, there's a lot of restraints.
Yeah.
So she's singing, but she's also, she's just like a Santa Barbara girly. She likes to skateboard and surf, and she does tomboy things. Cue One of the Boys by Katy Perry. Do you know that song?
No, but that was the title of one of her albums, right?
It's the title of her first pop album.
Okay.
And so then at 15, she drops out of high school. She later goes on to earn her GED. And she's singing around town. She's still singing gospel. And her music gets attention by these people in Nashville named Steve Thomas and Jennifer Knapp. And they were like, she's really good and she's cute and she has a great voice and she plays guitar. Let's sign her as a contemporary Christian artist.
I'm shocked that her parents let her drop out of high school.
Her parents are so interesting to me. Like, even in the documentary, they are like, we didn't support anything she's doing, but she's our daughter and we love her. Like, they actually are, I do not want to use the word progressive, but they are shockingly supportive for her upbringing.
Right. Wow.
And for their beliefs. They're kind of always like, she's going to do her thing and like, we can't really stop her.
For someone who seems to be like so restrictive and like rigid, to like dropping out of high school is so major.
It's major. And they also were like, it was a risk for her. Like, they could not financially support her if this didn't work out. Like, but they kind of just let her go.
Wow.
They let her go. So she now changes her stage name to Katy Hudson, and she's a Christian pop star. Not pop star. She wants to be a Christian pop star. Yeah, rock on.
For God.
I just want
to holler. I want to shout. I want to holler.
I just want to rock out.
I'm going to rock out. Avril Lavigne, anyone? We should cover her one day.
We have to. We have to. So this album was not successful.
Oh, shocked.
Not successful at all. And so she was like, you know what? She's like, my parents have already like let me do this thing. Now I should just be like, fuck it all. I'm going to go to LA and try to actually do what I want. So she moves by herself to LA at 17, and she's like, it's time to pursue pop music.
Wow.
So she packs up her things, and her parents literally are like, we don't want you to do this, but we're not going to like cut you off or like cut you out of our lives.
Well, that's good. At least Santa Barbara is only like an hour and a half drive from LA.
Exactly. And the photos of her when she first gets to LA are really iconic because it's like 2007, 2008. Like, she's at house parties with the Olsen twins and Kesha. And it's like before, well, not the Olsen twins, but like she befriends people, like a lot of people before they blow up. And it's like such a specific point in time.
I was just watching a TikTok where Kesha was talking about that she was friends with the Haim sisters.
Oh my God.
So I think it's like all these Valley kids that were hanging out together.
Totally. It's all these California girls, isn't it?
There it is, Tess.
Yeah.
I'm like, how'd you meet them? That's so crazy.
She was very social. She was like, I want to put myself out there. She would go sing at clubs every night. Any person that was like, oh, hey, like we're having an open mic night, she was there, and she was really trying to network. And because of that, she met this producer, Glenn Ballard, who I think has done other people. He's like, I forget who, but he's like a notable guy. Mm-hmm. And he was like, let's go more of the Alanis Morissette route with you. Like, let's actually go like a little bit more rock with like your jet black hair. And they were like, but we have to change your name because Katy Hudson is not going to work out. Kate Hudson is like the it girl of the year.
Oh my God, I didn't even think about that. Why did that not click in my head? Of course.
I know. And so they were like, Katy Perry, that is what your stage name is going to be.
Where did they get Perry? Do you know?
No. I just realized that.
They're like, we just like it.
Yeah, I was like, wow, no idea. So her first song that she writes in LA on her own is Thinking of You.
Okay, I was literally talking to Tess about this because she sent me the TikTok of her singing Thinking of You. And I was like, I forget that she's talented, which is crazy. Like, I forget she actually has a good voice, that she can play guitar, that she wrote.
Her lyrics are really good. And I do think that as time went on, the producers that she worked with and even the own like vibe that she was trying to like have with her stuff went downhill. But like her lyrics have always been good.
Yeah. I also think that like this is a byproduct of like women and pop is sometimes we forget how talented they are because of like the way that they're presented and like all of the producing on the music. But like Britney Spears, like before they told her to sing like that, had an incredible voice.
Well, it's like Thinking of You is my all-time favorite Katy Perry song. I think it is so beautiful when she does it acoustically. I have chills even thinking about it. Like those lyrics are powerful.
I can't believe like a teenager wrote that.
Do you remember? And I was disgusted with myself.
My God. Do you remember watching the music video when we were in the pandemic? And it's an amazing music video.
I was just watching it yesterday. Kunal was like, again, I was just like sitting at the computer. It is. It's like her, like she's missing her man.
It's like World War II.
She looks gorgeous.
She does.
So she's right. She writes Thinking of You. And then she's also hired to write songs because of this song for other artists, which, guys, this happens all the time. Like, we don't even know. And so she's writing for Kelly Clarkson, Miley Cyrus, Selena Gomez.
Oh my God. I can't believe Selena Gomez, I believe, and I'll leave it there. But like, I can't believe she was like writing for Miley and stuff. That's so interesting.
Do you know that she wrote The 7 Things I Hate About You?
What? Mm-hmm. Oh my God, Katie, thank you so much. Again, shout out Lindsay and Claire. You guys know we make that music video.
Shout out to Molly. It's such a part of our youth. And we have Katie to thank for that.
Love that song.
It's so good. So, like I said, she was performing everywhere. She signs with Java Records. I think Java. She's dropped from them. Then Columbia's like, wait, actually, like, we want to take you. She makes this album with Columbia called Fingerprints. It, like, no one even sees it. It never sees the light of day. So then Columbia's like, no, we're going to drop you too. And then finally Capitol Records is like, we're going to take you, let's work on your first album. And that is when One of the Boys was produced and created.
It's really honestly, like for real, genuinely inspiring to hear about like that. She got dropped so many times before someone was like, let's just fine tune this.
I think people assume that she was an overnight success, and she was like, she was struggling. Like in this time, she like was going home a lot because she was being kicked out of apartments that she couldn't pay rent for. Her car was, what's it called when like your car is taken away from you?
Towed. Repossessed.
There we go. So she was struggling, but Capitol Records was like, we believe in you. And her first single on One of the Boys was I Kissed a Girl.
God, it's so funny because I don't think that song would never come out now.
No, and it came out in 2000. Do you remember where you were like when you first heard it, or what your thoughts about it were?
I think we were all like, oh my God, especially like sheltered Arkansas. I think that we were definitely like, oh my God, this is crazy.
But it was crazy. Like, I remember we were, I was with all of like my high school girlfriends, and one of their moms was driving us, and we heard it, and we were in Groveland, California, which is in the middle of nowhere. And I just remember my friend's mom was like, I cannot believe how like kind of like grotesque this is. And all of us were like, yeah, that is really dirty, isn't it? And I remember being like, I love this.
Also, like, for what? You know what I'm saying? Like, time has just changed so much. Like, you kiss a girl, like, who cares?
It's crazy that this is what was happening in 2008. Like, this song was controversial, and some people said it was gay baiting.
Well,
and to this day, it's still like, you know, people have opinions about like that this is the song that kind of like rose her to fame, and if that's annoying or not.
Right. Well, it's also like, I totally just lost my train of thought with this. But, I think I was just going to say, I am like shocked that it was played on the radio. And again, it's like, for what? It's not anything like kissing a girl, but that just shows, I can't finish a thought. You know what I'm saying, people.
Well, we're not we're not a sex positive country.
Exactly.
You know, and we're not. It's, yeah. So this is what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, do you remember? Have you seen the interview of Lady Gaga talking about this song? And then she's like,
No.
Lady Gaga is like, she's definitely never kissed a girl. Like Lady Gaga was not happy about the song, which like checks out for me, you know?
Well, here's a quote of what Katy Perry has said about the song in recent years. She said, quote, "I'm just a singer-songwriter, honestly. I speak my truths and I paint my fantasies into these bite-sized pop songs. For instance, I kissed a girl and I like it. Truth be told, I did a lot more than that.
Okay.
What I did know was that I was curious, and even then I knew that my sexuality was not black and white."
Good for you, girl.
So
Explore that.
Exactly. So good for her. She had a fun time and she wrote a song about it. It's kind of like as simple as that. You
Yeah.
know? So she's just like this automatic hit. So this song goes to number 9 in Billboard 200. The album sells 7 million copies, and there's singles like Waking Up in Vegas, Hot and Cold, Thinking of You. I mean, it's such a fun, One of the Boys. It's just such a fun, like, pop, like a little like rocky, yeah, like this white girl with jet black hair who's like rock on, but can also have a good pop song.
It's recession pop.
It is recession pop.
One of the boys, was she doing the pinup era? Yeah.
It was like pinup, and we talked about this with Amy Winehouse, like a little inspired by, you know, like pinup rocker with like heavy eyeliner and jet black hair with bangs, and sometimes she'd wear boots with these like polka dot dresses. It was like of the time.
It was very of the time.
So she goes on tour. She goes to Warped Tour, which I used to go to Warped Tour every summer.
What's Warped Tour?
Warped Tour is very like All American Rejects and like
Gorgeous.
Linkin Park. It was fun. She's like hosting some award shows, so people like are definitely, they know who she is. She starts collaborating with other artists like 303, and she's dating Travis McCoy of Gym Class Heroes.
This sounds so familiar. Oh, yes.
Live journalism.
Yeah, please don't send us a cease and desist, Travis McCoy. Oh my God. Yeah, literally, this is what ends us all. Oh my God, it would be a Katy Perry episode, wouldn't it?
God, it truly would.
Okay, yes, I remember them being together.
So she's with him until 2008, and they break up. And then she meets somebody. And guys, unfortunately, this is just part of her story, so we have to talk about it. She meets Russell Brand. And
oh my God.
this man is a dangerous monster. He has been accused of SA by multiple women. He's like a conspiracy theorist. He's very problematic. But this was her first husband, unfortunately.
I forgot that they got married, which what I know that something happens in the documentary that we will talk about. But like he was also at the height right now, because this was like Forgetting Sarah Marshall era.
Yes, he was like he's so funny and he's in all these comedies and he's just this like chill dude. And so he definitely has this persona. And in December of 2009, he was on this UK talk show called Loose Women. And
Loose Women?
Loose Women.
Okay.
She's a crass girl.
She's a crass little girl.
And he's like, I'm in love with someone. I fell ill. And so everyone's like, who is it? And then January 2010, Us Weekly confirmed that Russell Brand and Katy Perry were engaged.
They were engaged like before people even knew that they were dating? How'd they meet?
I actually don't know how they met.
Industry.
Yeah, I think so. Oh no, that's how she met someone else. Yeah, I'm not sure, but it was like very fast and hot and heavy, and their proposal took place in India.
Of course.
Then October 2010, they got married in a traditional Hindu ceremony in India.
You guys cut it out.
Guys, you're both white, and stop.
Cut it out. But they so would. Like, this is so Russell Brand's vibe.
She wore like a bindi. Like
Oh.
she was on an elephant.
This is why people hate her.
It was a little tough. So yeah, they're like going on talk shows and they're like, we're just so in love. And like the thing that really makes it work is that like we're really just such good friends and we support each other. So then watching the Katy Perry documentary that came out in 2012, there was another picture that is painted and it shows him essentially, she says that he is extremely jealous of her fame and intimidated by her success and doesn't like that she is the breadwinner.
Wow, this is a tale as old as time. What is their age at this point? Do you know?
I think she gets married to him at 25 or 26, and he's like in his mid 30s.
That's
because I remember the
crazy.
documentary. She's 27 when she's ending her tour, and they're like, "Are you gonna have a baby soon?" And she's like, "I'm a baby, so why would I have a baby?"
God, she's just so young.
She's so young. So even though that there's a little trouble in paradise, she writes what many will say is her best album of all time. And she releases Teenage Dream. And a lot of it is about him and when they're falling in love. And Teenage Dream is an amazing album. And it broke records for so many things, which surprises me because it never won. And she has never won a Grammy.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. She's never won like a pop vocal. She has a great voice.
There's California Girls, Fireworks, Peacock, The One That Got Away, E.T., Teenage Dream, Hummingbird Heartbeat. It's just like, it's such a good album. And these are some of the like records that this album broke. It had the most number one singles from a single album. And the only other artists that have done this is Michael Jackson and the Beatles.
Oh my God. This is crazy because I feel like people are not talking about Katy Perry in this way.
So I think there's like 12, 13 songs on the album. I think she had like 6 or 7 number one singles out of those.
There's a thumbs up. Do you see it on your screen?
Oh no, I did. They're like, good job.
Yeah, the thumbs up just came up. I remember Peacock.
I want to see your
Peacock. Yeah.
And she was the first female artist to achieve this. And yeah, the most consecutive number one singles from an album, all 5 singles listed above number one consecutively. And yeah, it's literally her, Michael Jackson, and the Beatles in all of this.
This was like at her height probably, right? Like, do you remember her being everywhere? Because I think because I wasn't so into her, like, was she just everything?
She was everywhere. She was like hosting all of these things. She also was collaborating with so many other people. Like she was in like a Timbaland song and music video and 303 and everyone wanted to work with her. And she also was like on the cover of every magazine. She was on like Vogue and Glamour and Vanity Fair. And she was so pretty at this time too. I mean, she's still a beautiful woman, but she was just gorgeous.
Was it still like jet black hair, bright blue eyes, like black eyeliner?
Yes, but it was like she got rid of her bangs and like kind of the bob, and it was like long, probably extension, black hair. Like her fashion got really a lot better. She was just like she was an it girly.
Wow.
So she's blowing up. She's on her California Dreams tour, which I did see twice. Very good tour. Very fun. And Russell breaks up with her via text before she goes on stage in Argentina.
I have not seen this documentary, but I have heard about this. But not just breaks up, like saying I'm going to get a divorce from you, right?
Yeah, truly. Like this is over, and breaks up with her and never speaks to her again.
What? And he does this on text?
Does this over text. So the documentary shows it.
I love that she kept this in.
Crazy. And I remember being like, is this real? And she was like, yeah, like they were documenting my whole tour and this was the night that he did it. Who knows? Maybe they recreate. I don't think that they did. It feels very authentic. I mean, she's having a full panic attack. She's like bent over. Her stylist, who's her best friend, is like comforting her. She's getting her makeup done and tears are streaming down her face. And they're like, do you want to cancel? And she can't speak. Like her face is like turned away from the camera, and she's like having like she's doing the like
yeah.
And then her makeup artist is just like waiting because like he's not sure like what she's gonna want to do. And then her face like, and then she like comes out of like hiding, and she goes, "Start, Todd," and he starts doing her makeup.
Comes out of hiding.
Yeah.
Hiding within her despair.
Yeah. And so she goes on tour and she like goes on stage, has like a little bit of a panic attack before going on stage, and she like cries throughout like the whole show. But then they all start chanting, "Katy, I love you."
Honestly, I would go out on stage and be like, y'all are never going to believe what just happened to me. And we write it on.
Literally go, Katy Cats, and do what you're best at doing. So she says, quote, about what happened. "He's a very smart man, and I was in love with him when I married him. Haven't heard from him since he texted me saying he was divorcing me. At first, when I met him, he wanted an equal. And I think a lot of times strong men do want an equal. But then they get that equal and they're like, I can't handle the equalness. He didn't like the atmosphere of me being a boss on tour.
Hey, Google, play Breadwinner by Casey Musgraves.
He wants a
breadwinner. He wants your
dinner.
Hey, Google, don't actually play it.
She's like, yeah, you can.
Yeah. No, that song, you guys, if you haven't heard the song Breadwinner by Casey Musgraves, go listen. It is perfect. This is a tale as old as time.
Oh, we talk about this in every episode with a successful woman.
Yep. He wants your dinner till he ain't hungry anymore.
Exactly. And so they get divorced. She says that it's like a hard time for her. And obviously she's like, I'm so young. And like, that was kind of like I'm sure that there were other things that happened in the relationship that she just like had to process. But she has a rebound, Claire.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
And I'm sorry that we have to talk about this demon in every episode of Ram, essentially. But do you know who it is?
John Mayer is the third co-host of Ram.
I can't believe it.
I can't believe it. Here we are. This man is haunting us.
He has always haunted us. And what do you expect that she feels for him?
Oh my God, she's obsessed. Like every woman like has been, and obsessed isn't a good or a bad thing. Like it's just obsessed.
Here are some quotes of what she has said about John Mayer and their relationship. I was madly in love with him. I still am madly in love with him. All I can say about that relationship is that he's got a beautiful mind. Beautiful mind, tortured soul. I do have to just figure out why I'm attracted to these broken birds.
Well, honey, you do need to figure that out.
Honey, it's called let's get into therapy and let's stop repeating cycles.
John Mayer, everyone has said the same thing about him. I think he is intoxicating.
She said he is literally a genius, as is evident in his songwriting. I was a fan of John for years before I actually got to kiss him. And relationships are kind of like riding a bull. You hold on for dear life. Sometimes you get a little buck here and there, but then you just get back on.
Oh my God.
This man ruined her, I think. And they had an on and off again relationship for I think 3 years.
Oh my, yeah. I mean, I feel like, were they before or after Taylor?
After.
Okay, interesting.
Yes, because Taylor and him were what, like 2012?
I think I think it was 2011. 2010, 2011.
This was
vibes.
2014.
Wow. I mean, he is a musical genius. We can give him that.
Sure.
He is. But yeah. I think that entrances these women.
He's just toxic. So he does the same shit that it's like he's a love bomber. He's a narcissist. So he makes you feel really good, but then makes you feel really bad. I mean, never forget that Jessica developed alcoholism because of this man.
One of my favorite videos on the internet is him playing the guitar and it being like when your dog is about to throw something up.
Yes. Just like, my God. I think he's a great guitar player. I'm not just saying this. I've never been a John Mayer fan.
Oh, I have. I've seen him live a few times.
To me, he doesn't hit. He doesn't hit me. I'm just like, oh, okay. Like he's just he's a dude playing guitar to me.
See, 8th grade, listening to slow dancing in a burning room when you feel heartbroken was it was a place to be.
Well, a lot of people feel this way about him.
Yeah.
Him and Katy do a song. Do you remember they did a song together in a music video called Who You Love?
Yes, of course.
It was like, you love who you love, who you love. It basically just repeats that for 4 minutes.
And they were like, genius, done. Wait, was that on Heartbreak Warfare? His album?
I think so.
I think so too.
Oh my God, Heartbreak Warfare.
It's
not about that.
I mean, he is very talented. He's toxic, but he is talented.
He is.
It's so funny when one of our Ramies DM'd us one time and they're like, I'm so sorry, but or when we were talking about situationship songs and they were like, I'm so sorry, but John Mayer. And I love that Ramie's like, no, to be afraid.
I know. I was like, you guys can do whatever the hell you want to do. And a lot of people are very moved by his music. So do what you got to do. So they break up. God knows why. I think they were just like, we can't continue this anymore. This has just been exhausting.
Wait, they also did Half of My Heart, didn't they? No, that's Taylor and him.
No.
Okay, that's on Heartbreak Warfare. Sorry, guys.
Interesting.
Yeah, he has a pattern.
God, he really does.
Yeah.
So they break up and she releases Prism. Is it's very pretty. It's very romantic. Like, and I think all of these songs are about John.
Yeah. But they like they didn't have like a fallout breakup because remember even not that long ago they were at the same event. I forgot what event it was, and they both like looked at each other and said hi to each other.
I think they were very much like let's let each other go vibes instead of like one of us like destroyed the other. I think they both knew that they were like I think they just knew it was toxic.
Yeah.
And I think they also broke up probably 3 or 4 different times and they were like, let's end this now.
Yeah.
But Prism is very pretty. The cover of it.
Oh, yes.
Remember
Okay.
this one?
Yes. Uh-huh.
And you have Roar on it, which Roar is so good.
Well, Roar is also a knockoff of Sarah Bareilles' song.
Well, talk about it.
It is. Sorry. It came out after hers did. It's the same song.
Like exactly the same.
Yeah.
Unconditionally, which is actually a very beautiful song. It's like such a love song, Walking on Air. So Prism's fine. Prism's good. I think it gets like mixed reviews. It's definitely a fall from her previous 2 albums.
Yeah.
But then she releases Witness. And this is when she starts this confusing era, I would say. She cuts her hair.
It's the pixie cut, right?
It's the blonde pixie cut. She gets a lot more like her style changes. It's a lot like more like street style, and she's wearing like jerseys and big jewelry.
It felt very much like she was trying to emulate what Miley was doing in 2012, and it was very weird.
Which I think a lot of people think that she has always like since California, since Teenage Dream, like everything is kind of like a copy of someone else that like just doesn't hit, which all artistry is like you take inspiration from other people, but something about Katy is very like she's like, let me do this and take it from you,
because there's none of her identity in there.
It does not feel authentic.
No, not at all. Like it kind of feels like really cringe, like Miley's older sister. This sounds so mean, but like it just is embarrassing.
Yeah, it's not great. And Witness very much had that vibe. So Witness is the swish swish, and everyone was just like with Nicki Minaj, and everyone's like, what's going on? It does not get good reviews, and her press tour for it is strange. She does this live stream on YouTube for 4 days.
What's going on, girl?
And you better believe that I watched hours of it until I was like, I can't do this anymore. I was falling behind.
Sitting?
Yeah, she's sitting. She's like, and then she has like James Gordon come in to her little commune that she was at, and like they do an interview. That is when she rates her lovers.
Oh my God, talk about it.
Who's best in bed. James Gordon gets it out of her. And so at this point, I think she had already hooked up with Orlando Bloom.
Yeah, because she's married to Orlando Bloom now, but were they dating at this point? Were they a thing?
I think they like casually hooked up before they dated, and we're going to get into Orlando Bloom.
Yeah.
But I think they had already hooked up, and so she rates them. Number 3, Diplo.
Yeah. Which, like, James Corden I'm like, are you intimidated by Diplo? He's like, he has to be at the bottom, right? Like, that's why you're a DJ. I'm like, James, like, stop projecting, my God.
He kept repeating it, like, over and over. He was like, there's a reason why people become a DJ. I'm like, you're not getting much action, I'm sure.
Well, talk about a nightmare blunt rotation, James Corden and Katy Perry. Like, no, thank you. I excuse myself.
I would not feel safe.
Me either.
I would not feel safe. But so she says Diplo's 3, Orlando Bloom is 2, and John Mayer is number 1.
That's just something as Orlando Bloom that I would never be able to get over.
She has children with that man. I mean, spoiler, but I think we all know that. Like, I don't know if I could go on.
But I think, God, John Mayer just must go down on these women like there's no tomorrow.
It must be very intense sex. Like, he must just make you feel like you are the most beautiful, amazing woman in the world.
I think he does have that essence too of like I'm just a guy with a guitar and
he's a tortured soul.
He is.
So wanting to fix a man.
God
Lord knows that makes you, can
feel crazy.
Feel crazy.
Yeah.
So this is when we get into, and James Gordon asked her about it, a little drama of what the hell is going on between her and Taylor Swift. Do you remember this, Claire?
I do have personal experience with this story.
Tell us everything.
I was hanging out with Taylor at this time when this all started going on. And I remember her talking about this drama in the kitchen. I was like, I'm still confused about what's going on. But Taylor was about to go on Red Tour, and Katy took her dancers. Like they were already hired for Taylor's tour. And then Katy was like, actually, I'm going on tour and I want you guys, was my understanding of it.
Right. Okay, so this is what both of them said about the situation.
Okay.
And I remember at this time, I was not a Taylor Swift fan until 2017. Mm-hmm. And I was a Katy fan like for the past 5 years. And so I was like totally on her side. And now I'm like, I don't know I really don't know who to believe.
Yeah.
But this is so Taylor said, she goes, for years, I was never sure if Katy and I were even friends or not. She would come up to me at award shows and say something and walk away. And I would think, are we friends, or did she just give me the harshest insult of my life? Which I could so see.
Saying Katy has that vibe. I mean, look at her being an American Idol judge, which I hope we'll talk about at some point.
Katy does not have a girl's girl vibe.
No, she's one of the boys.
And that was very, that feeling was validated on American Idol because every woman that comes on, she acts so differently with them than a man.
She's so mean. She does.
Cruel and cold.
When she's like, enunciate or stop enunciating the words or whatever, she's screaming. And
slow
that girl
down.
She's actually like so fun to watch as a judge on clips. Like
she's kooky.
You could say that.
You
could say that.
So then Taylor explains to Rolling Stone, she was like, Katy did something so horrible. And it wasn't even about a guy. It had to do with business. And basically, she tried to sabotage an entire arena tour. She tried to hire a bunch of people out from under me. And I'm surprisingly non-confrontational. You would not even believe how much I hate conflict. So now I have to avoid her. It's awkward and I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
So then Katy Perry tweets the next day, which I'll never forget. This was so iconic. She tweets, watch out for the Regina George in sheep's clothing.
That's right. God, the girls are fighting.
The girls are fighting. So then when Katy Perry comes out with that song Swish Swish in the music video, and the lyrics say, don't you come for me. No, not today. You're calculated. I got your number because you're a joker and I'm a courtside killer queen. So everyone was like, it's about Taylor.
Wow. Taylor comes back with her own diss track.
Look what you made me do.
No. Bad Blood is about Katy Perry.
Oh my God, that's right.
Yeah, Look What You Made Me Do is about, I think, Kim and Kanye.
That's right. I forgot about Bad Blood is like all about Katy
It's
Perry.
About Katy, yeah,
and
exactly.
She's like, I'm going to get the hottest women in Hollywood and be in this music video so you feel like trash.
Literally, and like, honestly, mission accomplished.
Ooh. Okay, so this is what then Katy says about the feud to James Gordon. She says, okay, so there were 3 backing dancers that went on tour with her, right? And they asked me before they went on tour if they could go. And I was like, yeah, of course. I'm not on a record cycle and get the work. And she's great and all that, so go for it. But I will be on a record cycle probably in about a year. So be sure to put a 30-day contingency in your contract so you can get out if you want to join me before coming back on. So the year came up, right? I texted all of them because I'm very close to them. I said, hey, just FYI, I'm about to start. I want to put the word out there. They said, okay, well, we're going to go talk to management. And they did, and they got fired.
They got fired from Taylor's tour?
Mm-hmm. That's what Katy says.
Okay. Does Taylor come back with anything after that?
Let's see. So Katy claimed that Taylor never talked to her about the dancers despite her attempts. Quote, but what I want to say is that I'm ready for that bullshit to be done. Now there's a law of cause and effect. You do something, and there's going to be a reaction. And trust me, daddy, there's going to be a reaction.
I can so see Katy saying that and trust me, daddy. And it's like, Katy, stop.
But James Gordon goes, I really don't like when you call me daddy. Hate to laugh at that beast, but that is funny.
That's amazing. I'm like, I don't want to be in the blunt rotation, but I kind of want to watch like this full interview, actually.
Truly, these people like would never even talk to each other like in real life.
But they're the obnoxious ones at the party where they like are feeding off of each other's attention.
The theater kids.
100%. Just like
yes.
Different cliques of the theater kids.
Katy needs him because she's more popular, but she needs someone like, never mind. Talk offline.
We'll talk offline. You guys know.
And so Katie's like, look, this is all about karma. I think personally that women together, not divided, is more powerful and none of this petty bullshit. Women together will heal the world. And James Corden's like, what if she just sent you a text?
What if you just called
What if
Taylor
you
up?
just called Taylor up? And then she was like, 100%. So then Taylor goes on tour for Reputation, and one of the first nights she posts a photo, do you remember, of an olive branch on her story?
No, not really, but this is just crazy because this started happening during the Red Tour. So then we had the Red Tour, the 1989 tour. She goes into hiding, and then finally the Reputation tour.
Like, they were fighting all of these years.
Oh my
they just
God.
hated each other.
But you know what? Oh, sorry, go on. I was
No,
just going to
say it. Say it. Say it.
I'm like, we could have a whole episode about this feud.
I know.
But it's like, it's not about Hannah Brown, listen to her podcast, Not Aspirational, just said this, and Bethany Frankel. It's not about what it's about.
Do you think it was about John Mayer?
I think it's a lot of things. I think John Mayer probably played a part in it. I think that women are pitted against each other, whether like it's intentional or not in the music industry. Like they are made to feel very competitive. Taylor was wanting, I think, to go into the pop space. Like it's just, there's also, I think that they don't vibe. Like
These people would never be friends. And that's true. It is so much about like, not even about a guy or dancers or whatever. It's just because probably their teams were making them both feel like, yeah, they're pitting them against each other.
Yeah, and like also they probably just didn't like each other anyways. And so then it's like I mean, there's so many dancers in LA that are like dying for a job. Like it's not about that.
100%. And like, girlies, just let it go.
Yeah.
So Katy sends her an olive branch backstage. And
Yes.
Taylor posts a picture of it saying, I just got back to my dressing room and found this actual olive branch. This means so much to me. Well, basically to conclude the whole feud, you know, who knows? I guess they finally, I think she said that Katy came over for wine and they like hashed it out at some point. But the big reveal is that Taylor, for her Lover album, releases You Need to Calm Down music video, and at the end of it, they're dressed as fries and a hamburger hugging each other.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, could we have done something else after all this time?
That's so Katy Perry to me, though. Like, I feel
So
like Katy suggested it, and Taylor was like, yeah, like, let's do it.
That's awesome.
Also, you know what I think it really was? They got older. Like, Taylor was like 22 when this is happening.
Yeah, they matured a little bit, and they were like, is it worth it to have like an enemy in Hollywood?
No.
In life? No, it's not.
No, it's not.
So Katy's fine. Back to Katy. She becomes a judge on American Idol. I read that her contract was she got $20 million a year for American Idol.
I think that's what it was, which is crazy.
I mean, that's like movie star status. Like that is.
That's like beyond. That's like George Clooney, like beyond movie star though.
Lord knows that. Who are the other judges? I don't think they're.
It was Lionel Richie and the country singer Luke Bryan.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I mean, that was a big get for American Idol. Like, because Katy was still, and it was like a little bit after she was like climbing down from the heights of her fame, but still like a big pop star. So she's making fucking bank.
Is American Idol still going on? I think it is. Is she a judge?
No, as of she quit last season, I think.
Yeah.
Because she went on tour, or she started her Vegas residency.
Oh, right.
So, during this time, she meets none other than Orlando Bloom. And they make headlines as a couple because they were paddleboarding together and Orlando Bloom was completely nude with his thing out.
What a gift.
But it's so funny because like he responded to it being like, oh God, I'm kind of embarrassed. Like if I had known. And I'm like, you guys are like a hot, crazy Hollywood couple that people were very like, this is like the perfect match. It was exciting because they're both kind of like quirky.
Yeah.
Weird kids.
Well, I never knew how quirky Orlando Bloom was until I saw him rolling with Katy Perry in the Billie Eilish documentary. And that changed like my views on him a little bit.
You guys, it's crazy.
And then so in the Billie Eilish documentary, they're at Coachella and Katy and Orlando are clearly rolling on Molly. And they are just like hugging her and being super weird with her. And then afterwards, Billie Eilish was like, who was that? And And she's like, oh my God, that's the guy from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah. Oh, it's just so funny because she's so young. Like, Orlando Bloom was such a millennial. Like, I had a poster of him.
Me too.
Oh my God. Him in Pirates of the Caribbean really did something to me.
It did something to all of us.
And then Elizabethtown. And I'm like, what else was like his hot little movie?
Elizabethtown is one of my favorite movies.
That's such a Claire movie.
I love it so much. Kirsten Dunst, hello. And she plays Claire.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I haven't seen it since like high school. I'd watch it again.
It's so good.
So they're out and about together. They dress as Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton for Halloween for the 2016 election. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Is she liberal?
So, yeah. Well, like, how do I answer this? Because, well, she has endorsed Obama, Kamala, Hillary, Biden. But she had the controversial, which we're going to talk about when we talk about her controversies. She had the controversial Rick Caruso take recently.
Well, of course.
And it disappointed everyone, but she also was campaigning for Kamala. She sang at Kamala's.
Oh, that's right.
So she's always said that she's a Democrat.
Rick Caruso talking about wolf in sheep's clothing.
It's all of these fucking people that like live in Montecito that are all of a sudden just like, oh, we've forgotten our political takes, haven't we?
Yeah. I'll do it.
So she and Orlando are kind of on and off again. She said that she really had to figure some shit out personally in her life at this point where she was just like, what am I like? I feel like I'm like kind of not settled and like I'm still like trying to, I think she still was trying to find a lot of self-worth and validation in these relationships. And she was like, I got to go on my own journey. I think that she did a lot of ayahuasca, allegedly.
I'm sure.
I think that she basically was like, I need to go to like India and like find myself. And I think that's really what she did. And then, I'm sorry to bring it here, but Katy and Orlando reunited publicly and took a motorcycle to Ed Sheeran's LA concert. And that's when everyone was like, they're back together.
I just feel like this episode is attacking me in a way that like I really don't appreciate, you know?
I'm so sorry.
Okay.
You know, the facts are facts, okay?
That's history, you know? That's like, you don't always like it, but...
It's her story. It's your story.
Wow. So I hope they had a great time. Where was it?
In LA.
What year?
I think this was 2017 or 2018.
I don't know if I was at that show or not.
So they get engaged in February 2019. She has a huge pink engagement ring that looks like a flower. It's pink and has like petals. And she says full bloom.
I mean, that's kind of like, okay, listen, I wouldn't want an engagement ring with a flower, but
yeah,
like.
But it's so her.
And it's so clever with Orlando Bloom. Orlando Bloom, that name.
So chic.
So chic.
And then he posts the same photo and he says, lifetimes. They're so they're really intense. And guys, I just have to read a couple quotes that she says about their relationship because I'm like, this girl gets into some intense relationships. Katy explained to Vogue India that she and Orlando had to pull the poison out of each other in order to thrive. I've never had a partner who is willing to go on an emotional and spiritual journey like Orlando. It's challenging because you're facing all the things you don't like about yourself. It's like this never-ending cleanse. We have been through fucking hell. We have been down the mat and come up again so far. Now it's a relationship, but it's work. Dating is different than real relationships. You've got to make a choice every day to be in the relationship and work hard on yourself with someone that is mirroring you so intensely. But he doesn't let me rest. He's not Katy Perry's biggest fan. He's here for Katherine Hudson. He's here for the building.
The building?
Like the building of their lives.
Yeah, no, they found each other. Like they found someone to match each other's freak for sure.
Exactly.
And I'm happy for them for that.
Same. So in August of 2020, they welcomed their first child together, Daisy. Mm-hmm. So 2020... I forgot that Katy was releasing some good songs during 2020.
Is that the Harleys in Hawaii?
Oh, look at you.
Maybe I'm a Katy cat. You just didn't know. I'm a closeted Katy cat.
It's Harleys in Hawaii. It's Daisy's Never Really Over, Smile. It's very like, it's lighter for her.
Yeah.
It's not too pop heavy. Never Really Over is the one that's like, yes, it's never really over because if you're coming over tonight. It's fun.
What's Daisy's again? I feel like
It's like, cover me in daisies, daisies, daisies.
Oh my God, yeah, no, she's screaming daisies. You guys, Joe, clip that because that was incredible. I hope that you're watching.
I just remember listening to that song. I think it came out like 3 weeks into quarantine. And I think that was maybe the only time during COVID I went like on a run throughout the neighborhood. And I'll just never forget it of just being like, this song is getting me through something.
No, she does scream Daisy. Daisy!
But I liked this moment for her. I think she kind of was just like experimenting with like, it felt very her. It didn't feel like it was trying to be someone else or trying to go back to Teenage Dream or One of the Boys. It just felt really like fun and poppy. And the music videos were really fun. So I do think this was kind of the last positive moment of her career, Claire.
Yeah.
Now we're going to talk about the downfall.
Just real quick, I feel like it was where people were almost like, oh, she's coming back in a way.
Yes, because she released Never Really Over in 2019 and then as a single, because I remember watching the music video before my birthday and I was like, oh, this is great. And then she didn't release anything else until 2020. So it took her a second. I think she was also struggling a little bit with motherhood in the first year. I think she was like, she said it was very challenging for her. She said it was like different than what she expected, that she was kind of like feeling insecure about her role as a mom and also as a stepmom because Orlando Bloom has Flynn with Miranda Kerr.
Oh my God. Wow.
So I think she was just like, she did end up saying like, I feel like I was this little kid my whole life until now I'm just this adult. And like that change was tough.
I'm sure.
So she does in 2021 get a residency called Play in Vegas that I wish I could have seen. It actually seemed pretty fun. A lot of people did drugs and said it was a good time.
I'm surprised you didn't go.
Why didn't I go?
I don't know. Maybe it's just the time.
I know, but I'm like, what the hell? What the hell? So we're going to talk about some of kind of back-to-back controversies that have happened in the past few years with her, which I hate to say downfall because it's like, God, every woman is just doing her goddamn best, and Hollywood is not kind to them and the public's not kind. But I will say there's been a shift. Put it that way.
Okay.
Let's start with the nun drama. Have you heard of her drama with the nuns?
I didn't know she was beefing with the nuns, with the sisters.
Beefing with the nuns.
No.
And I'll start with this one because there is a theory about this that is really funny to me. So back in 2015, Katy attempted to purchase a former convent in Los Angeles, which sparked a years-long battle involving the archdiocese. What's that?
Deity?
Is that what it is?
I don't know.
How do you spell that? Archdiocese?
Oh, I have no idea.
Some nunnery, I think, of Los Angeles. Members of the Sisters of the Most Holy and Immaculate Heart of Mary.
Immaculate Fart.
Immaculate Fart. This has come up in every episode I've done. This has come up.
And I have to say every time, I'm so sorry.
So she is like, there's just this legal battle. Katy's like, I deserved to get this convent.
For what?
And the nuns are like, you're not, she wanted to like purchase it to like have it be one of her homes or something.
We need to tax the rich, you guys.
Literally. And these nuns, sorry. These nuns are like, she's a sinner. We can never have her. And one of the nuns, during this 8-year legal battle, the nun ends up dying in court.
What? In court? In court?
In court. She like passes out and she dies.
Wait, what?
So many people believe that this nun cursed Katy and her career would never be the same after this.
I mean, crazier things have happened. Yeah, I can't think of one, but I'm sure.
Yeah, you could say that, Claire. You could say that. So there's some like sexual misconduct controversy, which I was not aware of with Katy.
I haven't. No, I don't either.
So on American Idol, one of the contestants, I think he was 18, and he was saying that he never has kissed a girl before. And Katy was like, well, she's like, we should change that. And so she's like, come over here. And so he approaches like the judging desk or whatever the thing's called. And he's like about to give her a kiss on the cheek, and she moves and kisses him on the lips and was like, and that's how you kiss a girl.
Okay, this sounds familiar. And like, imagine if the genders were reversed.
Well, that's what people were saying. And he comes out being like, I felt violated, and I did not want that to be my first kiss. She's also like a lot older. It was on TV. I felt like I couldn't say no.
Oh my God. Well, yeah. I mean, there's so many things at play. He must have felt so embarrassed. It's not okay.
I know. Politically, as we mentioned, she has been very vocally liberal about ever since 2008 when she was on the scene. She's always campaigned for Democrats. So it really shocked and disappointed her fans when she endorsed Rick Caruso.
I feel like non-LA Grammys are just not going to know anything about this.
Yeah, it was very controversial. Like, a lot of celebrities came forward and they were like, we support Rick Caruso, like Gwyneth Paltrow and Kate Hudson and the Foster sisters.
So Rick Caruso was running for mayor of LA against Karen Bass. And Rick Caruso in the past has been a Republican. And then he, I believe, changed his political affiliation to like independent and then changed it to Democrat. He has like put a lot of money towards like anti-abortion. Yeah. In his past.
Yeah, and I think a lot of Katy's fans have always been women and LGBTQI, and she's always presented that she's a feminist and pro-choice and for equality. And so I think people were like, what the fuck? So she lost a lot of fans because of that. And I think there's a quote, I think this is from Bitches, that says, Katy Perry tweeting out a pro-choice video while voting for Rick Caruso would be objectively hilarious if it wasn't painfully dumb.
Yeah.
So I think people were just like, we're over you. Like, have you like lost yourself? And then to piggyback off of that, the whole Dr. Luke situation. If you guys aren't aware of Dr. Luke, in 2017, Kesha, during sworn questioning about her time with Dr. Luke as her producer, said, the abuse I suffered from Luke was a decade long, every day, every moment of every day. And Katy works with Dr. Luke on her last album, 143, and they collaborated on her lead single, Woman's World, which is very ironic and disappointing. And she goes on Call Her Daddy, and Alex Cooper asks her about it. And she's just like, he's part of my whole career. We have worked together before, so why would I not want to work with him on this? And people were like, that is really fucking shitty, and shitty to Kesha, who people thought that they were friends.
Oh my God, I didn't think about that at the beginning when you said that she knew Kesha at the very beginning.
It's like a really shitty stance to take. Like, you could not do that and make a statement to support women, and you didn't do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sorry.
I was just going to say, like, this was really a moment where I lost a lot of respect for her, that, like, it's never been the same for me since. I was just like, that's so gross.
Yeah. She just seems to be very tone deaf.
Mm-hmm. I think she's also very, like, I'm just going to do it and I don't care.
Yeah. And you know what? She can. Like, there will be consequences for that for her, but if she doesn't care, like, she can do that.
Yeah. I mean, men do it all the time.
Yeah.
But tough to support someone after that, at least for me.
Absolutely.
And then we have the space debacle to sort of end the episode. And I will read a quote from Alana Frost from Betches, who I thought that this just like completely, this is all you really need to know. On April 14th, Katy was on the historic Blue Origin all-female space flight for a grand total of 11 minutes. The space tourism moment was an unfathomably expensive ad for Blue Origin, which is a Trump crony billionaire Jeff Bezos' space tech company. The trip was branded as an exciting moment for feminism, and Katy claimed it made her feel connected to that strong, divine feminine. I just let out the loudest sigh. Sorry, God. However, she and others have received backlash for going on such a wasteful, useless, and grossly overpriced excursion, and for supporting a man who's made billions by exploiting people. I fear that this is just very on brand for Katy Perry.
It's so on brand for her. It's so disappointing that she has to go down that route.
No, I know that everyone was just like, of course that she's on this flight. Yes. And also, being really annoying about it.
It's so crazy how people were like trying to say that this was like a step towards feminism. It's like such an insult to women to try to like put it in that light.
That's such a good point, Claire. It's so insulting.
Yeah.
All of these billionaire women like trying to be like, this is for all women and this represents who women are. Like, no, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. This doesn't help us at all.
It just was, and they were in these like, I don't know. It just all seemed weird. They were all like in these like really tight spacesuits.
They're a designer. I forgot what designer, but yeah. It's like
And
Dior or something like
all
that.
so glammed up. And I was just like, what is this?
I didn't realize that it was only for 11 minutes because I feel like everyone was like, we have a really bad feeling about this. Like, we think it's going to be something like submersible action.
Yeah, right.
You know, which I was like thinking it was going to be like that too. And then I saw that they landed. I was like, that was it?
Very anticlimactic.
Well, talk about what she's saying and the ship.
What did she sing?
Oh, you don't know? Okay, so people kept being like, Katy, you have to like sing for us, like while we're up there in space and like all of that stuff. And they were like, we thought she was going to do like fireworks or like something like that. And she was like, no, because that would be about me. And so she's saying, what a wonderful world, what a wonderful world. And she's like, because this was about the world. And this connects us together.
I did not know that. And I'm
Yes.
glad I didn't know that. It would have made me not even want to do this episode.
So literally while they're up in space, she's singing what a wonderful world. I can't, that's an impossible song title to say.
What a wonderful world.
What a wonderful world.
I'd be like, crack the glass, I'm going out.
I wish it was a submersible situation at this point
Literally,
now.
can it explode?
Well,
Oh my
yeah.
God.
Gail King looked like that when she was walking off. That's why I was like, let's bring Gail back.
But I was like, Gail, you don't have to do this. She seems so miserable and so fearful for her life. I was like, no one has like a gun to your head.
Like, why did you see Katy kiss the ground when she got back out too?
And then was just like, oh my God, like Jeff Bezos' fiance just being like, I have such a different perspective for humans. I was like, no, you don't.
You guys, give it up.
It was really disgusting. And now she is on her Lifetimes tour, which is like her kind of greatest hits. And everyone is laughing at her. Everyone is laughing at her, which I'm not going to lie, for a second it just makes me sad. For a part of myself feels that way because I think she is kind of embarrassing herself. And it's just tough when like she's trying to do something and everyone's like, this is losery and cringe. But then I was watching clips and I was like, girl, what were you thinking?
I'm wondering, like, why would she do that? Also, like, calling it the Lifetimes tour so close after the Eras tour, it's just like, obviously, you know, people are going to be saying things about it. And then it seems like she just does not want to show up for work.
No, she's like hardly singing. She's not even dancing. She seems like she's almost like making fun of it.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like she's in a video game throughout the whole. It feels like this is when it's like, honey, why are we back in like a 2007 mindset? You know, I'm like, that's not a cool concept for a tour. Her outfits are like futuristic, robotic. It's just not cool. It's not cool.
She's always just like missing the mark where it's like, why did you decide to do this? Like, who is on her team right now?
She has had the same people. She has worked with like the same people forever.
Well, that's probably the problem.
I think they need to get some like new energy in there.
100%.
Just someone being like, you are talented. You're a great songwriter. You have a beautiful voice. You did make such a mark on like pop culture. Like, let's get you back there, girlfriend.
Is she sober? Because she has that sober drink line.
She's not sober.
Okay.
But she has gone through phases of sobriety. And I think she has said that like she does have an addictive personality with everything. And so she has tried to explore it. I think she does, allegedly. I want to say she probably like smokes a lot of weed and does shrooms.
Yeah.
But I think she's an Orlando Bloom party too.
She seems like she's the psychedelic girly, like that.
For
she
sure.
loves that. Her and Orlando Bloom, I think, do that allegedly in my mind. Quite often.
In my mind as well. But to end on a positive note, Claire, we're just going to talk about some of her professional achievements because she has had a long career and she is where she is for a reason. According to Billboard, she is the 15th most successful dance club artist of all time. She does have some good like club hits.
Yeah, she really does. Like, I'm surprised that it's not into club, that it's not a little higher.
I know, same. Also, Billboard ranked her 4th on its greatest pop artists of all time, 5th on the top 100 women artists of the 21st century, and 25th on the greatest pop stars of the 21st century. In 2015, her music video for Dark Horse became the first video ever by a female artist to reach 1 billion views on Vivo. And the following month, her music video Roar reached also 1 billion. The first artist to have multiple videos with 1 billion views.
I mean, she just is like, she's had so much success and it's just lost in the muck of all of her bad choices.
It's so true. Because she has sold 143 million records.
That's crazy.
Forbes said that she is worth 340 million. They put her on the list in 2024 of America's richest self-made women. She's won 5 American Music Awards, 14 People's Choice Awards, a Brit Award, and a Juno Award. And that's Katy Perry.
Well, I just have to mention that Nickelodeon clip that I was dying when they were like, when Nickelodeon tried to kill Katy Perry. And
like, literally, I was like, how cruel of you guys.
She opens up a box and they
put it on the carousel.
Yes, they pound her with slime so much.
Pound, like, who did she hurt at Nickelodeon?
You know, someone. Like, we're going to get
Someone's not happy.
Oh my God. Well done, Tess.
Oh, thank you. It was a fun little, and then I was going to end with like a little about people think that there's a conspiracy theory that she is JonBenet Ramsey because they kind of look alike, and JonBenet's parents faked her death so that she could skyrocket to fame. And that's where we'll end the episode.
We just can't rule anything out at this point.
Of course not.
You know?
It's very Ram coded.
It's kind of coincidence that we have never solved the JonBenet case and Katy Perry is just walking around, you know? So
exactly. You have to put two and two together. Yeah. You have to.
You know, we're workshopping ideas.
Of course. So yeah, that's our girl Katy. You love her, you hate her. She's a little controversial. She's fucked up, but she's also, you know, she is one of the biggest pop stars of our time and of our millennial hearts, and got to give it to her.
God, well done, Tess. How does your heart feel after spending so much time with her?
I appreciate you asking.
Mm-hmm.
I feel a little sad.
Yeah, I could see that.
I feel a little sad. I'm going to post photos of my 21st birthday party. It was Katy Perry themed, and everyone got so creative, like from all different. Evan was her during her Christian pop star phase. Oh my God, it was so funny. He wore like a big cross and like a flannel and a beanie and had blonde hair. It was just like everyone really delivered.
Oh, God.
But yeah, I mean, she was a big part of my youth, and I have like kind of let her go.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's hard.
Of course.
Sad. Sometimes
it's
sad.
What was the loneliness like?
I know.
You know?
And I've been listening to her a lot this week. And what I have just been feeling is like, just listen to like One of the Boys and Teenage Dream, and that still really gives you joy. And so I'll just kind of leave it there and not think about it much else.
Yeah, we'll live in that space.
I think so.
Yeah. Well done, Tess. I know. I'm
Thank
so
you.
glad that you did this, like, because I really didn't know that much about her. So
it felt right. It felt right, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. You know, yeah. Let us know what you think. I'm scared.
I feel like you just have to. I know we're always a little scared when it comes to these episodes, but like, I mean, it is what it is.
We cover controversial men, not even controversial men. We cover like disgusting men all the time.
Yeah.
And no one ever is like, how dare you give them a platform? So it's just kind of like, let us cover complicated, flawed women too.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing about history too. Is like you can't just cafeteria style history. That's like the problem that like this administration I feel like is trying to do with history. And it's like you have to talk about the good, bad, and the ugly.
Ain't that the truth, Claire?
You know?
That the truth?
So
and that's what we're doing here on
yeah,
Ram.
that is true.
So please follow us everywhere: TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, at Right Answers Mostly. Subscribe to our premium, which is in the show notes, for 3 bonus episodes a month.
Plus the whole back catalog.
Everything. And you can cancel anytime if you don't like it, but no one ever does.
Yeah, really. And then you can get on our close friends list on Instagram where you can see hidden posts and stories and get your merch.
We have new merch out. These shirts are so cute. They are $30. They are so soft.
They are.
They're just adorable.
I know. I'm really obsessed with it.
I know. You look so cute.
Thank you so much. Brammies, we love you so much. Share Ram with the friends. If you're loving it, it helps so much.
We love you guys so much, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.